This conference will now be recorded.
This conference will now be recorded. All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the RMC support group for this month. Glad to see everybody's faces. One of the things I look forward to every month to see everybody. So glad to see everybody, and thank you for joining. I think about a few weeks ago we had Dr. Masal on, and he really seemed, excited and motivated for the direction of, the research and stuff for RMC. So that was good to hear him speak about, new clinical trials, and, it's just being, you know, more hope out there for RMC patients or whatever. So, we want to make sure we keep, raising awareness, and, keep doing what we've been doing to, make sure that, we keep supporting everybody, and, leading to better results. I'm a testimony of everybody's efforts here. I know that RMC has definitely made strides from a few years ago to 10 years ago to now or whatever. So I did get a chance to ring the bell last month. So that was a big deal for me. 3 years since I've been diagnosed. They gave me a prognosis of 4 months, but I'm still here, and I'm ready to do what I can do to make sure that there's a lot of awareness for RMC, and to help support any others that's been affected by this disease. So want to start out on a good note tonight. Um, so yeah, that's my spiel for this evening. Um, do we have any new? We don't have anybody new on the line today, do we? Ms. Rich, are these your board members? Are these your board members? Or
No, we have several new people now. Rex is our newest board member, and of course, we moved Alexa from the volunteer section to a
okay,
board member. So,
okay,
and then I think, and Kevin is new, Yashonda is new. We've met Navon and Manera. Haven't you been on here before? You can still tell your story. I think it's been a while.
It's been a while, yeah. So you can refresh us.
Eh, I think I was here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me well? Okay. So excuse me if you hear some kids yelling. It's my kids. Okay. They are playing over here. Um, I think I joined this group one time online
Hmm. Hmm.
just to talk about my husband. He had RMC. He passed away. It's been a year and some months now. One year and 3 months. He passed away last year on May. In May, and that's it. I've been talking to Richie sometimes, and I am getting to a point that I'm okay, and I want to at least talk about it. And I was talking to her to maybe come up with some information in Portuguese, because just to let people know, especially because of the trait, the falciform trait. I don't remember how to say that in English right
Hmm.
now, but that blood condition that it's attached to RMC. I forgot how to say that. But that's why I'm here today. It's been a tough year, but you know, uh, I'm trying to move along, and that's it.
Listen, tell them where you're from,
Um,
Manera.
I am from Brazil. Brazil.
And
okay.
Manar, I want you to know real quick, when you wrote out, because I know you had some audio issues, when you wrote out about your and your husband's story, I actually presented that to ANCAN's board of directors and shared how important it was. And we formally honored him, and he's in our in memoriam. So I just wanted you to know that.
Thank you very much for that. I hope I can help someone, and I think now I am ready to try to do that. I I cannot explain, but I wish I can turn this to something good. I think.
Um, Thank you for sharing. I know, this disease is a tough one or whatever. So thank you for sharing your story and um, definitely, be able to help others and be able to uplift others. So we're gonna continue with the introduction since we have some new members with us. Um, Yoshanda, you wanna share your story and your connection with RMC?
Sure. My name is Yashonda Rucker, and my nephew D'Amico was diagnosed with this RMC August the 5th of this year, and he passed away from it was August the 5th. August. Uh, Let me see. No, he passed away August the 5th. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm still kind of discombobulated a little bit, but I'm trying to pull myself together. But he got diagnosed May the 5th with RMC, and he passed away August the 5th. So, um, when I first heard about this aggressive cancer, I was on pins and needles. I'm not even gonna lie. I was so scared for my nephew because he was so young, just now graduating and stuff. Hadn't graduated yet when he got diagnosed, but he was graduating that month. So it kind of took me for a loop because we really had never been through nothing this serious in our family before. And my sister got 10, she got 10 kids all together, and he was number four. So we was able to have a long time, you know, we still having a long time with all of them, but she got four other kids that got this sickle cell trait too. So it's no way on earth that I can keep walking this earth without bringing awareness to this beast, as it's been called too. So I'm just really here to support if I can and to get support at the same time. But this journey with this is huh, it's hard, but I'm sure with people like y'all and us, we'll be able to get through. And the more people that know about it, the more people that it can bring awareness to, in my eyes, because it seems like people are not notified of when they say sickle cell, everybody think, oh, it's just it's just some kind of cells. This, you got more than these and less than these. They don't explain how it can turn into some aggressive things in your body that could go on. So if nothing else, I really do want that to be brought to people's attentions with their loved ones, because it's not just a sickle cell. It's stuff behind the sickle cell that could go on and change people's families forever, and that's what it really have done to us. Uh, but I wish my sister, she making tune in. She making tune in like later on, y'all, maybe, and y'all can help her, get through too. But right now she just still having it hard. But I want to be here for her and y'all and us, and just like find a way, whatever we can do, however we can get it, whatever we gotta say. I don't care if we putting up poster boards. Just look into the sickle cell more than just the sickle cell, because there's more to it than just that. So I really just want people to know that. But I am here, y'all, and doing my best to hold up and hang in there. But it's hard not to think about my nephew. And I ain't gonna lie, y'all, when I first heard about it, I wanted to snatch everything away from my nephew. Graduation, school kids coming to see him, just like everything. I just wanted him to get the help that he needed, and to be able to beat this. And I wish I could show y'all this video that he made in the process. And I can later on down the line. I could send it to Miss Richie and she can help me share my story. But it was just the way he was saying it, because you gotta have, when you get diagnosed with this, and this is to all of y'all, whether you was a family member or whether you was that person, it takes something out of you that you don't even know you got. I don't know what it is, but it's just like once you hear that, it's just like dang. And then for my nephew and for everybody to keep carrying on like y'all do, I'm proud of y'all. I mean, if ain't nobody ever told y'all before, I'm proud of y'all because I know it's hard. So just keep doing whatever y'all got to do and try to hang on and and just don't give up, y'all. Just stay strong and positive. The main thing is stay positive because it can get you so down, you know. But if you stay positive, I do believe it'll be a positive outcome in the end. But it's nice to meet all of y'all too.
Get out. Go.
Thank you for sharing your story. Man, I know that's tough loss,
Sit
and
down there and butt naked.
keep you
Go.
uplifted. Keep you and your family uplifted. No, me, Anna, and Richie, we got a chance to speak at the sickle cell symposium um, to kind of raise more awareness about RMC and how the sickle cell trait, can affect you because, a lot of people think that, the sickle cell trait is benign. If you just have the trait, it's a benign blood disorder. But there are some things that can happen, if you had a sickle cell trait, and RMC is one of them. So that's, kind of what we're going to keep pushing to make sure that, we have awareness. If you had a sickle cell trait, that you are aware of RMC. Um, my brother, one of my brothers, had the sickle cell trait as well. So we just gonna make sure that we try to keep everybody informed and make sure that everybody is aware. So it won't um, the disease won't catch anybody by surprise. Um, uh, Davon, would you mind sharing your story, your connection with RMC?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My connection with RMC is actually in this lobby with us. If my grandfather, Kevin Hess, call him my pop. He's my connection to RMC. He was diagnosed around what, a year ago, pop?
Just about. Yes.
Yeah, and I've just been helping him along with my grandmother out in any way, but he'd be able to explain it better than I could. If anything, I'd like to pass the mic over to him.
Right. Yeah, it's not a problem. You know, uh, Growing up, I knew people who had the sickle cell. Uh, Not just the trait, but full blown sickle cell. But I, like other most people, never really thought too much about it. Now, there was a month last year whereas I lost 50 pounds in 30 days. And everybody kept saying, well, you need to go to the hospital. You need to go to the hospital. So, boom, went to the hospital, went to the VA. They started treating me. They said I had cancer, but they didn't say what type of cancer I had. And it wasn't until they realized that there's nothing that they could do to help me. So they recommended that I go to the MD Anderson and speak to a Dr. Pablo Masol, which I did. And my whole thing is this, when they first told me I had cancer, my whole thing is, I had, fine, just take it out. Obviously they just can't do that, you know. So when I spoke with Dr. Masol, he ran tests and everything and told me that I had RMC. My question to him, well, what is RMC? You know, and then he explained it to me. You know, basically, if you have the sickle cell trait, you know, you're susceptible to this type of cancer. You know, and we made a pact. Was I told him, I said, look, anything that you can do, you do the very best you can. On my end, I'm going to do the very best I can, no matter what it takes. You know, and he ran me through, I believe, like 3 trials until he finally came to me and said, you know, Kevin, there's nothing else I can do. You know, and then one day they started another series of chemo. And I spoke with him about it, and he said, yeah, him and his wife, they were sitting at the dinner table and they were talking about me, you know. And she brought up some drugs that they had that are in existence but haven't been used in a certain combination. And so he thought about that, and that's what I'm on now. And it's working, you know. The cancer I had in my kidney, it has shrunk a little bit. You know, I feel fine. You know, I'm not in remission yet. You know, I haven't rung the bell, but I plan to soon. You know, I'm a positive individual, always have been. You know, I feel as though if you got family behind you, that's love. That's people who really care for you. I got family and friends who care for me a great deal, you know, and that's what keeps me going. You know, my grandson here, Davon, he keeps me going. When I told him, you know, what I had, you know, I broke down. I cried because he looked at me dead in the eyes and he heard every word I said, you know, and that touched me, you know, in a way that I was saying to myself, damn, this young man really loves me, you know. So, with that being said, you know, that just made me push a little harder, you know, just to survive. You know, there are days I wake up, I'm tired as hell, don't feel like doing nothing, but I force myself to do that. Anything. You know, I don't care if it's just walking from one room to another. I'm going to move. You know, I'm going to keep doing maybe not everything that I used to do, but a lot of things I will definitely try. You know, uh, I go through therapy, you know, which basically I don't need them because I do all that myself, you know. And he comes by, basically we just sit and have a conversation, you know. But but all that therapy stuff, I do that myself, you know. If I start to feel down, which is something that very rarely happens, you know, I got people I can call. I can call my daughter, I can call my grandson, you know, my son, my wife is here, you know, who I have to care for. She was diagnosed with cancer also, but you know, I have to care for her, you know, and that's, you know, it's hard for her to get around, but shoot, that's my life right there, you know. So I'm there. I'm there not just for my wife, but for everybody in my family and my friends. I let them know, hey, I'm still hanging in there and will continue to do so. To get rid of me, you better have an AK-47 and you better hit me while I'm moving, you know, because I'm not going to stand still, you know. So this is just my way of saying, you know, never ever give up. Now, I understand that there are some people here who have lost loved ones, you know, to this disease. Uh, Bottom line is, you have to go move on. Never forget them, but you have to move on. That's one of the hardest things in the world to do. Is to mourn the death of a loved one. You know, uh, my father died. I thought I would never ever get over that, but I did. When my mother passed, I thought I would never get over that, but I did. I had a sister who was a year younger than me. She passed away. You know, but I mourned her for a year, and then I accepted it. That's part of life. There is a time when everybody here has to clock out. Everybody. I don't care who you are. You know. Now it's a shame that a lot of people have this disease, which I never heard of until I was diagnosed with, you know. But I'm willing to spread the word, as much as possible, and with the treatment I'm getting, I'm hoping that this is something that can be used for other patients, And like I say, Dr. Masul, he's real adamant. He's real happy about my progress. And he's happy. I'm a happy camper too, So, it's, I don't know about this disease. It's tough. I wish more people would understand it, but that's why we have these groups, I guess. You know, um, when somebody is diagnosed with cancer, the first thing coming to their mind is, oh, I'm gonna die. You know, eventually you will. But if you got hope and you got a strong will, you can overcome just about anything. Hey, baby girl. I mean, that's a cute little girl. That is a girl, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, she's pretty. Right. But look, um, all I gotta say is that you have to be positive. Whether you have the disease, like Andre, I'm real proud of you for ringing the bell. You know, uh, that's a godsend, man. I really appreciate you, letting us know that. Uh, Manera, I'm sorry for your loss, but hey, you got a life of your own. You got those kids you got to worry about. You know, deal with them. There's happiness still in your future. Mm. So,
Yes, thank you. It has been very difficult, but something that all you guys said, what is curious about RMC, when my husband was at the hospital for the first time and
mm,
it was diagnosis was cancer, he 3 days after he had the kidney surgery, and we were talking to the doctors at the hospital, and we said it specifically because it's something that he knew his whole life. He had the sickle cell trait, and
mm,
we said like several times, he has sickle cell trait. Is that a problem? Do you think that it's something related to that? And the doctors, no. Sickle cell trait is just something that it's different on the blood, but
yeah,
it
yeah.
makes
See,
no difference in the person's
right. You
life,
see, that's what a lot of people thought. Sickle cell trait was just there. I mean, you couldn't get
Yes,
anything from it. But
exactly.
understand this: the people I knew back home in New Jersey who had this trait or full-blown sickle cell are no longer with us. Now, how they passed, I don't know because I really haven't been there in like almost 30 years, you know. But it's like I'm 66. I never expected anything like this to happen to me, but it did,
Yeah.
So therefore, I either give up or I move on. I decided to move on,
Yes.
mm, to
I
move
am
on.
on that
I
path.
got, look, I got faith in God,
Me too.
and I will tell you this much, those of you out there who do not believe that there's a greater being, come again.
I
If an
think like
atheist,
that.
no, listen to me. If an atheist was to jump off a 10-story building, what's going to come out of his mouth? He's going to say, Lord, help me. He's going to say, Lord, help me. You know,
So, Amaka, I know you wrote in the chat that you need time. Brian, do you need time? No time? And then Anna, do you need time?
it was honor.
What do you mean?
It was
Do you need time to talk tonight to make sure we get
talk.
to you? Have any questions or anything you want to talk about in particular?
I just have a quick question for Mr. Hess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then, Yoshanda, do you need time tonight? Any questions? Anything you want to bring up?
No, ma'am.
All right. And Devon, anything you want to bring up? Talk about anytime?
No, I definitely want to hear what Anna has to say.
And then Rex, we'll still give you the option if there's anything you need time, have any questions, anything like that, if you'd like it.
And
No,
okay,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead,
No,
Rich.
I just basically wanted Rex to just introduce himself to the group so they'll know a little bit about him and
Okay,
why he's doing
wonderful.
it.
Wonderful. All right, go on, Amaka.
Hi everyone. Sorry, the video is off. Kind of dealing with some intense pain right now, but wanted to make sure I come on here. Um, so still in very much so high hopes because of my recent approval to go to MD Anderson. It's been a year in the making. Right now, there's a holdup on the MD Anderson side. They're needing this particular paperwork before they can schedule my evaluation meeting for the trial that's coming up. So that's been kind of frustrating. But I'm hoping that before the week is over, that will be settled and I'll be finally able to get on the books and in the calendar and get myself to Houston. But that was it. I just wanted to put that out there that even I was having a very hard couple weeks with I was dealing with some pain as I mentioned and some other mental stuff, and that news came at a good time, a much needed time, and I've been riding the wave of that excitement of finally being able to be in a space where everyone fully understands what RMC is and they'll be able to treat me in a way that I'm not necessarily getting or able to get at my current hospital now. So I just wanted to share that once again, and just thank you for the organization of bringing Dr. Masao last week. He also brought some information that was so hopeful, that was also needed, and it's just great to. I've never met him before. I've seen him face to face, so it was nice to see him and hear his voice. So I just wanted to say thank you for bringing him to our space.
He will never ever give up.
I can't. That's not even in my vocab right now. So.
Very good. Very good. Okay.
Thank you for sharing, Maka. I know my sister had to get MD Anderson and my insurance company on three-way just because it was a misunderstanding on like a form or whatever. So
Yeah.
whoever you got, your support system or in your corner, man, just make sure, hey, whoever they need to get, on the phone with MD Anderson or whoever, just make sure they be diligent about that or whatever, because this is a huge deal.
Right.
It's a huge deal. So just make sure they be diligent. And it was something so small, but she had to get all of them on the phone together or whatever. So um, thank you.
Sounds like.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Anna, you said you had a question for Mr. Harris there. You can go ahead.
Thank you, Andre. So I'm just to introduce myself, Mr. Hess. I'm Anna Miranda Maldonado, and I'm 43, and I was diagnosed with RMC last year. And I'm currently on chemotherapy. I just had chemo yesterday, so that's why I might have my camera on and off because I'm a little tired.
Mm-hmm.
But I just wanted to thank you for sharing your story and your words of wisdom. I really appreciate them.
You're
I
welcome.
just I wanted to ask you what is the regimen that you're on, and then I also just wanted to check with Brian and see how he's doing also.
You know some the medical names for it, I don't know, but all I know is that it is an existing drug. I it's been used with something else and it is working for me.
Is it
Now,
a
how
pill or it's an infusion? Do you know?
excuse
Is it
excuse
is
me?
it a pill? Is it a pill or an
No,
infusion?
it's chemotherapy. It's chemo.
Okay.
That's what I go through. I have a regimen of 3 weeks of chemo and then they give me a week off. And then they'll do the body scan and all of that, and then I get back on the regimen again for another 3 weeks. Uh, what hospital are you going to?
So I'm in Los Angeles, and I go to a hospital named Kaiser, but my oncologist and I are both in touch with Dr. Masal.
Good, good, very good, very good. Because what I'm going through, is like he says, Dr. Masul says, well, it's working on you, and it's a possibility that it will work on other people. Now, I don't know if it'll work on everybody. I'm hoping that it does. Like I always tell him, okay, I'm your guinea pig. Go ahead and do what you got to do, but he always said, no, you're not my guinea pig. You're my patient. So I say, okay, whatever, tit for tat and so forth. But yeah, try anything on me. Doesn't matter. As long as I'm here and I can love my family and talk to them, I'm good. If
I'm
I can
glad
help
you're
other people
responding.
by going through this treatments, fine. I'm great with that. You know. Um, But like I said, I've been on 3 trials prior to this. None of them worked. You know, and during the time I've gone through those trials, not one time did I feel down about it. Not once. Because I take people at their word. You know, when Dr. Masul said he's going to do everything that he possibly can, I believed him. I got faith in him, and you should too.
Like,
So just know, hey, the end it's a long ways away. Long
Thank you.
ways away.
Thank you.
You're young. You got a long life. You know,
Thank
enjoy
you.
every minute.
Thank you, Mr. S, for
Hmm.
your words there. Brian, you want to do a quick introduction? And you have an update for us.
Can't hear him.
Brian, we can't seem to hear you. Here, maybe if you come back in and then we'll come back to you.
Alexa, while he does that, I didn't even introduce myself. I just jumped right in,
Sure.
so I can I can do a brief intro without a picture. Um, so hi to all the new folks. My name is Amaka, and I've been dealing with RMC for over a year now. I'm on my one, two, I think my third treatment currently, which is a oral pill that I take every single day. So I no longer take the infusions. My last scan showed stability, and there was a little bit of growth around my chest nodules, which is part of the reason why we finally decided to get myself to the upcoming trial that's happening at the end of this month. So um, dealing with the usual side effects, but in addition is the pain. Definitely, like Mr. Hess stated, trying to remain positive, keep it positive, and hoping that this trial will bring upon new results that I haven't seen in a very, very long time.
Mhm.
Uh,
Sure.
thank you.
That's always hope. You know, there's always hope, you know, and every day they're coming out with something new. Uh, you just got to have faith. You know, you
Hmm.
just have to have faith, you know. Hopefully, I mean, there is no magic pill. I wish it was, you know, but there isn't. You know, at one time they wanted me to take a pill along with the chemo, you know, and I like, okay, no problem. But then they said $6,000.
Oh,
And I said, oh, no, You're going to have to come up with something better than that. You know, I'm not paying $6,000 for no one damn pill, you know, and, you know, so they did. They came up with something else. And it didn't work, but they came up with something else, you know. So know that they're always trying at MD Anderson. You know, that's why they're so well known, you
I
know.
actually had a question for Pop. You might be able to answer too, but also Amaka. I hear that y'all mention pain often. Uh, is it pain from the cancer, or is it a side effect from some of the treatments and pills that y'all are taking?
that's a good question. Right now, we're trying to determine what the source is. My doctors don't know. So I've had several scans that haven't really shown indication of pain being, I'm sorry, of the location of what's causing the pain. They thought maybe it was fibroids. They thought maybe it might be constipation, but there hasn't been anything shown thus far that's 100% certain
Mm,
of whatever it is. Um, my doctor thinks that it might have to do with um, lining in my stomach potentially. So we are trying to figure out basically elimination of different things to see if we can come up with something to help discover what the pain is so that way we can, address the pain, but we don't know for
mm,
sure, which is the frustrating part.
yeah. Well, my pain is generally in my lower back right side, but I've also been diagnosed with arthritis. I guess that comes with age. I never really knew what the hell arthritis was, but now I do. Arthritis is pain. You know, that's what that is. You know, so yeah, I do take pain meds. You know, I don't like pain. So yeah, so I do have some pain issues, you know, but not drastic, you know, nothing real drastic. So I'm
Um,
good.
Andre, I would like to share with the group that the treatment that Kevin is now on, Dr. Masal did not name the name of the medication on it, but he did say the research was funded by Chris C.J. Johnson Foundation
Mm.
Mm.
that Kevin is receiving in one other patient. So I'm excited to hear
Well, I thank you very much. You can believe that.
that.
Yeah, I thank you very much. And I'm waiting for our lunch date. You know,
All right, we
that's
got
up
it.
to you. That's up to you.
Yes, sir. We got it.
You pick the time and the place. I'll be there.
Okay, we'll do.
Hmm. So, Brian, did you fix your mic yet?
Hey, can you guys hear me now?
There we
Yay.
go.
Okay,
Okay.
it was my settings. Uh, so I got diagnosed with RMC last probably May of last year. I ended up having a nephrectomy, and I've been on chemo since last June. Um, I'm on my second round of drugs right now, doxorubicin and the other one I cannot remember. Um,
Gemcitabine.
Gemcitabine, that's what it is. um, so currently, I'm actually reaching my maximum on the doxorubicin, so they're thinking about taking me off of it because they can only give me so many infusions of it. Um, I was actually at MD Anderson today. There's a nodule on my right lung that they want to radiate. So I was doing a simulation with Dr. Tang today, and supposed to be starting radiation therapy again.
Hmm.
Let's say probably in a couple weeks. So
That's radiation or chemo?
radiation.
Radiation.
I'm on chemo every 2 weeks.
Mm,
There hasn't been any growth since my last scan. Everything's either shrinking or stable, so that's a good thing.
Yay.
But yeah, um, my growth on my liver is staying stable, and growth in my lungs is shrinking ever so slightly. So
very good. Very good.
everything's going pretty well so far.
Well, my prayers are with you, bro.
Thank you.
Good news. Good news, Brian. Definitely gonna keep you uplifted in our prayers. Is this your second time doing radiation, Brian?
Yes, so I did radiation back in April uh, on my liver and on my left side of my lung. So now they're radiating a nodule on my right side. They said it was too small to biopsy, but just to be safe, they just wanted to just irradiate it just in case.
Yeah, I actually underwent radiation therapy as well. I guess once the nodules get, I guess to a certain size or whatever, I guess they go in and go ahead and I guess radiate it. 'Cause I had some difficult areas in my lymph nodes where they removed my kidney or whatever, so they had to go in and radiate that specific area. Um, so yeah. Um, Daniel and Diana, do you have anything to talk about this evening, or can you give us a quick introduction?
Hello, everyone. Uh, I'm sorry for the delay. I want to for the all of you. Well, yeah, I want Nico say hello. It's late for us. It's close to 8 p.m. We wake up early in Colombia, but Nico will come to say hello. I am so sorry for miss the other meeting the other day with Dr. Paulos. Diana, I was in a congress out of the city. Me, I was in the office, and so it was a little bit complicated. But
It is recorded. I'll put the link in the chat.
I want to introduce Nicolas.
I sent it to them.
Good,
Hi,
good. Okay.
Nicola. You're very
Hola,
famous.
Nicolás.
Hey, Nicholas.
Okay, now he was with glass. Is the after 1 month we, like you can imagine, when we were out of the city also, and Nicholas saying I have headness, in my head I feel it ill. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, we were worried. One thing is don't want to go to the school, and other don't go with the friends to ride bicycle. And we asked our oncologist pediatric, but finally it was because he was a problem with the view, and now he are pending of the cell phone every time, and now he needs glass. After that, we are more or less okay. He continues go to the school. In less than 1 month, we will travel to Spain, to Europe, for for to come to our family in Spain that they never see after the diagnosis happened. So it will be the first time for us with the Spanish family. So that's what I can share with you for the new person that I never see. Tell that, well, Richie can tell you, and I know she explained it and exposed it sometimes. She was diagnosed with 12 years old, and in December he will have he will be 15 years old, and we hope, um, before his birthday, he have his element here for the chemo, and maybe after 1 year they go out this element. Then that for him is very, it's a problem. He doesn't like, absolutely, he hate this small ball in his body. And well, that's all to share for the new person, for the what I know, Ana Miranda, Brian. Well, a pleasure to see you again. For Andre also, and of course Alexa, Clarissa, and Richie. And for the new one, we are here for support of you, and to give you all the best energy and light. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel, for sharing with us. Glad to see that Nicholas is doing well. Carissa, do you have anything to add to the group? And can you give us a quick introduction, just your connection with RMC?
Sure. So my name's Carissa Moran. My husband got diagnosed with RMC 6 months after we got married. And he battled the cancer for 3.5 years.
Mm.
So yeah, I met Andre through a house we were staying at a house we were staying at for young adult cancer patients, and then I met Richie at her walk. And so I just want to mention that I'm having a celebration of life for my husband um, on October 1st, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Um, and I'm going to be live streaming it as well if anybody wants to join.
Mhm. Sounds good.
Is is that gonna be live streaming through which app, Carissa?
I think I'm going to do Facebook Live.
Okay. Thank you for sharing. Rick, can you give us a quick introduction on your connection with RMC? If you don't mind.
Sure, Andre, I appreciate that. So my connection is through Richie. Richie and I have known each other for probably 30 years, I guess, now. And we were colleagues in healthcare at St. Joseph Hospital for several of those years. And we developed over those years not just a friendship, but a family ship, if you will. She's very close to my family, my wife, uh, our daughter, who's 39. And I was thinking about this, Richie. Uh, she was a candy striper on your floor at St. Joe, during the summer. Um, and and so my wife and I have been involved since the very beginning with the C.J. Johnson Foundation. Richie started it. We were on board with whatever kind of way we could help. And so over the years, we've helped financially every year. We've done the walks, even when we've had to do them virtually. We've done those in support. Uh, and then just this year, I embarked on board training. My background is in healthcare. I've got over 40 years of healthcare experience and in sales. And I started thinking about, and I was talking with my wife Rose about it. How could we help, Richie and the foundation in a more profound way, using, some networking and things that I have, and things that Richie doesn't even know she has yet, but she actually has them. And Richie and I talked about it, and she invited me to the board, and the board voted me on just a few weeks ago. And the first thing I wanted to do was to sit in on one of these sessions. It's one thing, to do the walk. It's one thing to give some money. Uh, you know, all of that's fine and good. But I wanted to touch and feel. I know what she's gone through because we were that close, and you guys have enlightened me tonight. Give me just a moment. So when you want to support an organization, you want to really feel what the need is, and then what you can bring to help that. And uh, the first thing I've sort of learned, Richie, is my ignorance around this disease was around young people. Uh, you and I have talked, and then I saw Kevin and heard his story, and we're the same age. And so, from my perspective, it's taking that passion of what the needs are, and how can we take uh, the foundation to a level that there's funding there for what's ever needed, right? Whether that's for housing, whether that's how do we help with the drug, certainly whether that's with research and all those things, and those dollars are out there, and I feel my role with some of the expertise I can bring with Richie is finding those dollars and having them funded towards this cause, and not just through awareness, but also through research and helping with some of those things. As I've discovered, and Richie has told me about this, it's an international foundation, and it's interesting as I listen to the folks and watch you from different parts of the country on this call. Uh, it gives me, it gives me the strength to want to go out and how do we find that funding to come here and eventually eradicate this disease. Uh, so that's all my purpose is on this call is just to listen and learn and try to understand.
It's very cool. Joe Biden, when he was running for president, one of the main things that he talked about was cancer research. And it's like he was saying there are billions of dollars, if not trillions of dollars, going into the research aspect of cancer. And I guess his question was, how come there's not a cure yet? You know, um, but you're all right. The money is out there. You know, what's being done with it? Well, I don't know. You don't know. We all don't know. But it has to be, I mean, with the amount of money that goes into the research and so forth, has to be some type of cure. You can't tell me that it's not. I'm not a conspiracy theorist and so forth, but that's a lot of money, you know, that's out there for this one thing, cancer.
And I agree with you, Kevin. There is money out there, but not only that, I think having a rare cancer is one that tend to not get the funding. This particular
Mm,
cancer, it kills just like breast cancer does. But for it to have been when my son was diagnosed, for it to have been over 2 decades and they had not done anything, they had not tried to do any research, is mind boggling to me.
mm,
And it's because of the advocacy, the efforts that we have put forth that we do have research. Because had we not done anything, it'd have been just another person diagnosed with renal medullary carcinoma.
mm,
Because at the time Chris was diagnosed, there was not any treatment specific for renal medullary carcinoma. My
yeah,
son had 3 to 4 months to live. He did live 15 months because he was strong, he was full of faith, and he was determined to beat this thing.
mm,
But has someone back in 1995 taken the initiative to do something, to speak up, there have been a lot of kids here with us today. So
I'm sure
I'm
you
just
would.
excited to have Rex on board. who is just a phenomenal person as far as marketing. He knows so many people. He's putting me to work even harder. He has me speaking in October with one of his national organizations. So I am blessed. I'm going to LA on the 23rd. I'll speak at the Rice Williams Foundation event. So it's getting out there, not to work in silos. It's enough work for everybody. The community-based organizations are coming together more than ever now. And then
Mm,
that's what we need to have a louder voice.
I agree. You got to have a voice. I mean, no telling how long sickle cell has been out there. There's no telling how long RMC has been out there. You know, but to bring this out to people, I think that's the main thing. People got to know, you know, about this. They have to know. I speak to a lot of people, a lot of my friends and so forth. They never heard of RMC, you know. But when I mentioned the sickle cell trait, oh yeah, I heard of that, But yeah, but as far as RMC, I mean, what can come of sickle cell trait? They never heard of it, you know. So
Well,
I'm giving them knowledge, as to what it is, and what it can do for you. One thing I'm real sorry about is that the young people who are affected by this, you know, damn, I mean, they haven't even lived yet, you know, they
well, I
haven't
think
lived.
they haven't lived. And I think, too, Kevin, first of all, we need to squash the myth that sickle cell trait is benign.
Right.
Yes, we do know that people normally live a long, healthy life, but you do need to know the signs and symptoms of what could happen if you do have sickle cell trait. So
Mm-hmm.
that in itself is a job because the
Right.
sickle cell disease community tend not to want to have anything to do with people that are sickle cell trait warriors. I
Yeah.
am a sickle cell trait
Weird.
warrior. I
Weird.
carry
You know.
sickle cell trait. My mom carries sickle cell trait. She's 96. Yes, you
Mm,
can live, but you need to know the signs and symptoms of what can affect you as a carrier.
mm.
So those are
90.
things that we need to squash. We need to get that education out there, and it's going to take a village to get it out there.
I agree. I agree.
And as long
What
100%.
as
are what
God
are
gives me
some
the breath to breathe, I'm going to be out there fighting.
Hmm.
what are some early like diagnosis symptoms that people can look towards in order to get diagnosed faster with RMC? I mean, like my pop said, he went to the VA and initially they didn't even know what they were looking at. So I'm sure that it's commonplace for other people who got turned away from the proper care that they need just due to misinformation. Is there a way that y'all are aware of in order to pick up on what RMC really is even earlier than what you can? Or if anybody has any information, please let me know.
The only thing that right now what we had suggested is normally kidney cancer in itself is asymptomatic until full blown. I have suggested that at least if a physician knows that a child has sickle cell trait or a person has sickle cell trait, to do a urinalysis. Maybe it'll show up something abnormal. We don't know. If it's abnormal, maybe we could do a CT scan. Whatever we could do that maybe we can catch this a little bit sooner. There's no preventative screening, and then Anna can chime in on this as well. But there's no preventative treatment. But if we can catch it early, it's obvious that there's a better survival rate. But right now, that's the only thing I can think of. And then Anna, you may can chime in.
Yeah, it's really hard because UAs sometimes come back abnormal and they don't have a clear explanation. So it's hard to, at this time there isn't a clear screening test. But Dr. Masal said he is working on something, a blood test
Mm.
for screening folks that have sickle cell trait. He mentioned that at the last time we did the walk, and so hopefully that research pans out to see if there's a way to just stratify and figure out who might be at greater risk. Mr. Rex Everett, thank you very much for joining us today. I just wanted to let you know, Miss Ritchie might have mentioned to you, but I've been in healthcare as well. I'm a physician, and I'm happy to help the foundation if you need, you know, RMC patients to speak. I can also bring my perspective in as a physician, and I'm excited that you've joined the board. Miss Ritchie is an angel, and I think that her bringing you in to help the foundation is great because there's a lot of work, and I think that there's definitely there's a lot we can do to spread the word more about this cancer, and I'm happy to help in whatever way I can.
Another
So
thing I was just thinking about too, just dealing with someone being a non-Texan trying to get to MD Anderson, it's just access to care. Um, the privilege that I have is that I have insurance, and so there's a level of access that I have, but there's less than for so many other folks. And I think that also delays the steps that it takes for us to find a cure or to find, ways to prolong our lifespan. Um, Another frustrating part for me is just thinking those hospitals that do have some of the more grand research, like the MD Andersons or whatever other hospital is. I know it's a hard fetch, but trying to figure out ways to get through the red tape is, I think, is critical. It's just mind blowing how difficult it is to get to a place like MD Anderson that has the information, that has all these wonderful things, and just knowing that someone else can't get there, that might take off years of their life, is heartbreaking. So just trying to figure out, is there, I don't know, what is it called, campaigns or something. I know it's a private hospital or it's a state hospital, and I know there's steps, but I'm just like trying to figure out ways that I can come in from that angle, or if I had $1 bajillion, creating just like a foundation for folks who are going to MD Anderson to help pay for it out of cost. It's just heartbreaking to know how difficult it is to get access to care.
that's something that has been discussed, and we're looking at ways to ease the access to get into MD Anderson. We had talked about one way is that people that don't have insurance that now have Medicaid, that we expand Medicaid here in Texas. Most of the southern states do not have expansion of Medicaid. So those are things that we're looking at. We even mentioned this to Dr. Masal. What can we do? How can we find other ways to getting people in without insurance? Can we get them on in through contract or what have you?
Hmm.
he tends to think that he tends to think that it's best that it continues the way it's going, and that is he will consult with physicians in other states, um, and provide them with pretty much some of the same protocols that they use at MD Anderson. But still, it is heartbreaking, and MD Anderson is state supported, and they do have a lot of red tape. I went through the same thing in 2011 with my son who had insurance. And because the case manager labeled it as pre-existing condition, they didn't want to let him into MD Anderson, and we live right here with insurance. So it has been a problem. It continues to be a problem, and that is something that we will be looking at as well.
Hmm, makes sense.
Thank you for sharing. Ms. Richard, do you have anything else to add? I think everybody got a chance to share what was on their mind today. Do you got anything else to add?
Well, basically, I'm trying to get to New Jersey for Clarissa's celebration of life for Carlos. We're just looking at flights. I may have to get on Spirit. But anyway, I'm going to do my best to get to Jersey. I will be in LA. I hope to see Anna on the
Mm,
23rd. And then, of course, I'll be speaking at Nazi in October. Plan to go to DC in November to lobby.
mm,
And then, of course, we have our celebration in November. It would be Chris's 50th heavenly birthday and our 10th year anniversary. So we will be
Mm.
having our event on November the 19th. So that's pretty much all that I have. I'm just excited. I wanted to mention too that Alexa and Clarissa both are now board members versus being volunteers.
Hey.
So we invite them and we really appreciate all the hard work. Andre, I think you can probably be next in line, and I'm waiting on Anna to feel a little bit better. We're going to have a wonderful team.
Hey, don't count me out.
Count me,
But
count
if
me
you want to
in, Richie.
by the Bay Area, just let me know. Okay.
Uh, Sounds good. But it's
And
been a
also,
great.
I want to share real quick. Rick is flying back right now from DC. He has been doing some lobbying with the American Urological Association. And you may or may not know, AUA also deals with issues like kidney cancer. So, one of the things he did, this was a prostate cancer specific meeting of the AUA, but one of the things he did in a room full of pharmaceutical reps, nonprofit professionals and members, he used his time talking about prostate cancer to make a point to talk about RMC, because we want, at least from the ANCAN side, since I play for both teams here, want you to know we are absolutely committed in using our time or anything. And we talk with Richie all the time, and even Rick and I probably talk once a week. How can we better help the RMC community? We recognize the needs that you have. We're constantly listening. We share the recordings with our board members. I give updates about the
Mm.
script to our board members. So I just want to say thank you, but I also wanted to update you that that's what he did today. I mean, yesterday, and it was a great talk. So
That's great.
They have truly been champions for us, and we really appreciate it. I forgot to mention too, in November, I'll be going to the Kidney Cancer Association meeting here in Austin, Texas as well. So it's a busy end of the year for me. And then
Yeah, I
the
see
walk
you
is
in
scheduled
busy bee.
for next year.
Mm.
March the 26th, I believe, will be our 10th annual walk.
Mm.
Okay.
Do anybody else have anything else to add before we close out this evening?
Yeah.
I have a question, really quick. With all the boosters that are coming out or whatever's happening with those things, I'm just wondering if folks with RMC, has anyone experienced any side effects when getting a booster? Um, and if so, what were your side effects?
No, I haven't.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Which is funny, you know. A lot of people, they haven't even gotten one shot
Mm.
for COVID. Now I remember when I was in elementary school. Yeah, I'm old, and I do remember that far back. But when it was time for us to have like vaccination shots, measles or something like that, the whole school got their vaccinations. The entire school. They would have us lined up in the cafeteria, you know, with them guns and so forth, you know, just injecting you, you know. And I just don't see, you know, why people would, you know, deny, you know, getting a COVID shot, you know, which is something that affects a lot of people. I have a son, he hasn't had it. But what happened? His whole household came up with COVID. They're fine now, but still, if they had gotten their shots, maybe this would not have happened. You know, so people are just not thinking clearly. You know, I mean, I know they don't trust the government and so forth, but that's all right. You know, I think that this is something that's real, is out there, you know, and you need to take advantage of it. It's free, and we're not guinea pigs.
Well said. Well, I
Mm.
think this has been a great evening. I've enjoyed each and every one of you. We look forward to next month. Do you have that date, Andre or Clarissa? When is the next meeting? The second Tuesday in October?
It is October the
11th.
11th.
October the
October
11th.
11th.
Okay, we look forward to seeing each of you then. If you have any questions, you know my number. You can call me. You can call any one of us, and we're here to be with you. And we love you, and we thank you. Rex, thank you for joining us. You're welcome to come every month. Yashonda, thank you. Kevin, thank you. First meeting.
You're welcome.
Manara, we appreciate you coming in. What time is it there?
Now it's 10:21.
Okay, you can get some rest, put the babies to sleep. And Daniel, you're on the same time as we are, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. Daniel, give Diana our love, and we thank each and every
Uh,
one of you. Parting words, Andre?
thank you.
Once again, thanks for everybody, sharing your stories and being a support to each other. We are one big happy RMC family. We're going to make sure that uh, awareness gets out there about RMC, and just want everybody to know that I'm gonna keep everyone uplifted in my prayers. Um, just hope everybody's treatments go well, and looking forward to hearing good information about clear scans soon. I feel it. So that's it, Ms. Ritchie.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to stop the recording.